Oh, right. Now that I'm finally getting some time to sit down near the very beginning of 2023, we're only 2 days in, but yeah, this is going to be a grind year for the YouTube channel for sure. Um, and actually getting some stuff uh, caught up on that I want to get caught up on. So we're going to do it. We're going to go. Yeah, this is going to be a kind of a reversal year and getting some of those other videos done that I want to do and getting some serious reading done too, and maybe taking a little bit of a break from the video game world again after season 2 of Overwatch is done, because I'm almost done the battle pass. So I think once I'm done that, I'm going to take a little bit of a break again and maybe just play some solo player games for a little bit. I think is maybe what I'm going to do. But this review isn't going to be coming out at the beginning of 2023 because I have a backlog of content, but we'll get that out to you guys anyway first before all of this. So this is about this is a review of the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, which was a show that was created years after the original movie, The Dark Crystal, came out. I believe the Dark Crystal movie was it the 1980s? Or maybe it might have even been before that. Oh my God. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, I was super excited that this show was coming out in 2019, and I did start watching it, and then I don't know, it's just like seems like with everything else, you kind of forget about it for some reason, and then you just so much new was coming out, and yeah, I should have just stuck with the order of things that I was doing, but that's not how it went, and obviously some other things happened, and life just got busy, I guess, over the last 3 years, especially with certain things that happened over the course of basically from 2019 to 2022. It seems like, oh my God, like this, yeah, just these past 3 years have just kind of flown by, hey. But we're here now, and it feels like maybe time's starting to slow back down a little bit, just after the last few years being a blur, it seems, with everything that went on. But it is what it is, and we're here now, and we're starting off in a fresh new year, and hopefully things can be better this year. That's just what I'm hoping. I'm going to do my best to do that, and I'm not just saying that. I'm actually going to seriously put forth some effort to, yeah, do better this year. Because there are some things in my life that I have to change, I think, in order to make it better. So, uh, yeah, anyway, so this show is, I guess it's, would it be stop motion animation? I'm not really sure how they animate this show, but it follows this character Rianne, who is, well, it follows quite a few characters actually. So Rianne, Deet, um, and then there was, yeah, Hup was one of the other ones. There was one other, was it Brea, I think? Yeah, I think Brea might have, yeah, Brea was the princess that found out all the secrets about the Dark Crystal in her own kingdom. And so the Skeksis have been ruling for thousands of trine. So I guess that's how they count their years on this planet, which is kind of cool. So Skeksis can live for a very long time, and the other race of people on the planet, Gelflings, don't have a very long lifespan, I guess. And what were the other ones? The Podlings? Yeah, the Podlings were the other ones. That's what Hup was. And so Hup and Deet end up. Yeah, it was Hup and Deet that ended up meeting up when she goes on her adventure from the underground. So there are many different, I guess, was it clans or tribes? Clans or tribes of the Gelflings. And the Skeksis, we actually found out, came from somewhere else, and they just kind of took over this planet, and they made a pact with Mother Agra um, to trade the Dark Crystal for her discovering what was going on in the stars. So she's been spending like countless years looking over the stars, kind of inspecting them, sort of thing, to I guess kind of get a better known, kind of be more acquainted with the galaxy. She spent her time with that, and she's given the Skeksis their free reign to kind of do whatever they want to do. And little does she know that they took the power of the Dark Crystal, and I believe they removed a shard from it. I believe the Emperor removed a shard from the Dark Crystal and used it to slowly start harnessing the power of the Darkening. And they are also trying to find a way to get the Dark Crystal to give them like eternal life, like they want to become immortal. So they end up, the scientist ends up finding a way to, I guess, draw out the essence of the Gelflings into the Dark Crystal and use it as kind of like a serum to, I guess, bring them immortality or kind of like de-age them, I guess. So it's slowly working because you can see them kind of start to get a little, like their bodies are slowly getting better as the show goes on, and obviously the more essence they drain, the stronger they're going to become, right? So my favorite characters in this show, I would say, surprisingly, were actually the Skeksis characters, which is, I know you're not really supposed to be rooting for the bad guys, but in a sense, I wouldn't really say they were necessarily bad. They were just trying to survive themselves too, right? Because near the end of the show, when we're finding out more, it turns out that the Skeksis came from somewhere else, and I guess when they came down to this planet, most of the Skeksis were separated into two beings, so they kind of had like a good and an evil side. So obviously some of them were, I guess, banished from the rest of the group, and yeah, what were the ones? They were kind of like wizards almost in a sense, but that's not what they called them. I'm trying to remember exactly what they called the other ones that they outcasted from the actual rest of the Skeksis group. But anyway, so the Skeksis have been getting offerings from the Gelflings, and they believe that the Gelflings want to be ruled. But when Rian has to run away from the kingdom, his father is the first one to hunt him down, and he tries to get everybody to dream fast with him, but the Skeksis have actually made it almost impossible for him to dream fast with anybody because they believe that they are going to be corrupted the same way that they have told everybody else that Rian is corrupted as well in his mind. Sorry, I'm just grabbing my charger here, maybe. Oh my god. What is it stuck on? Just give me 1 second. Okay, now that we've got that all situated. So, yes, I was saying, Rian is trying to get everybody to dream fast with him. Oop, I almost did that again. But they won't because of the possible corruption they might face due to the Skeksis saying that they could be corrupted from dream fasting with Rian. And he meets Deet and Brea along the way, and the queen. How was? Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly what they called. So who was the other sister? Yeah, Agra. Oh, come on. Oh, Celadon was, I believe, was the other sister that ends up siding with this. Yeah, she was the one that ended up siding with the Skeksis. And who else was there? Now, see, some of these people did a lot of different voices. I believe it might have been Nea was the other sister, if I'm remembering correctly. And the Hunter was probably my favorite Skeksis out of all of them. Like, just the way that they animated him to move quickly, because he seemed to be more nimble and everything. And then the Skeksis believe that they can't die, right? Even before they were trying to find a way to become immortal, they believed that they couldn't die, or they weren't supposed to be able to die. Turns out that's not right. The hunter almost dies, and they have to literally use Mother Agra's essence in order to um, bring him back to life. And I guess she's kind of inside his body. And when the archer ends up killing himself or sacrificing himself, basically, in order to kill the hunter and bring Mother Agra back to life, yeah, they find out that the Skeksis can actually die. And Chamberlain, who was very crafty in his in his deceit of the general, ends up killing the general at the end too. So not only did one Skeksis die, but two of them ended up dying at the end. And I guess Chamberlain gets his seat back next to the Emperor. And unfortunately, there isn't going to be a second season. But I guess the show, I guess it's kind of hard in this generation, I guess, technically, to bring back older shows because, yeah, everybody just wants to consume what's new and they don't really care about. Kind of weird to say, but it seems like the nostalgia factor of everything is just kind of disappearing, which I don't understand because, yeah. I mean, I guess certain things do well, but this would have been one that I would have liked to seen do a little bit better. So yeah, I'm trying to remember who the oh yeah, it was the Madrafara, I do believe, was the other queen of the other kingdom, if I'm correct. And then Celadon was the one that ended up siding with the Skeksis after her own mother is killed. Yes, that is right. Okay. Cool. Now that I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, and then the scientist actually finds a way to now what were the creatures called that lived underground? They were like spider-like creatures, but I can't remember the exact name of them. But he finds a way to I guess basically connect was it the podling bodies with the other creatures? Yeah. What were they called? I'm actually gonna have to look that up. Just give me 1 second here. Creatures from Dark Crystal. That's gonna bother me if I don't remember. Do. No, that's not what I want. It wasn't a fizz gig. Maybe I'll have to type in spider creature. Interesting that it doesn't just come up, hey? But sometimes, oh my god, if my phone would work here properly. It'll come up now. The Arathium, that's what they were called. Yeah, okay. And one of them ends up escaping. And then they ended up siding with the Skeksis for a little bit because he was going to give them back the caves where Deet came from. And then her family gets taken over by the smaller ones that can control you, I guess. And they become, yeah, like possessed. And that's how the Skeksis are able to bring them back to the kingdom and drain them of their essence. And so, yeah, that was a very interesting thing to have happen, too. And then they ended up siding with the Gelflings at the end of the show. And after Rayanne gets the dual glaive, once he finds both pieces, they're able to defeat the Skeksis pretty easily, actually. So, yeah, and I think I've covered everything. I would highly recommend this show. I really hope I'm not forgetting anything that happened in the story that was too big. But I will go back and probably watch this show again, so maybe I'll give it a re-review in the future. But yeah, it was just a really cool show. The animations and stuff are cool. Um, and if you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend actually going back and watching that first, to kind of get a feel for who these characters really are. And I think I'm going to go do that myself because it's been a while since I've seen the movie. But I will say, the Chamberlain, um, I guess the Chamberlain and the Hunter were my two favorite characters, I have to admit. The Scientist was pretty cool too, and I guess obviously the main character, Rianne, really made the show. Though I would say those four characters kind of um, really brought the show together, as a whole. Because without them, I think it kind of would have just been like kind of a kind of just like a Deet and Bray on an adventure. Not that that would have been bad. That would have been a cool concept too. But without Rianne there, I think the show would have been the Dark Crystal Adventures rather than the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, where the Gelflings have to rise back up and take back their take back their land. Basically, is what had happened because the Skeksis had been deceiving them for so many years and trying to rule over them. So anyway, I guess I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye bye for now. Oh my god. Okay, so sorry. This is going to be a three-part video because I just forgot this little snippet at the end to actually rate the Dark Crystal show. So I did give it a 10 out of 10. Just, that's it. 10 out of 10. And now, for real, I will see you guys in the next review. Bye bye for now.